My narcissistic husband wished me dead because I wasn't as hot as his ex, so I became hotter than she'll ever be and rejected him when he begged for forgiveness. My husband, Nick, was married to his first wife for 5 years, and had 2 beautiful children. She was a pageant queen and he was always proud to flaunt her around like a trophy wife. Sadly, she died in an accident 11 years ago when the kids were very young. I started dating Nick 8 years ago and we started off very slowly for obvious reasons. Nick has always been a little more distant than anyone I'd ever been with, but he and the kids lost her so young that I understood it. After 3 years of dating, Nick asked me to marry him and I moved in. I've always had a really great relationship with his kids and they were happy for me to marry their dad. I had wanted an actual wedding, nothing big, but Nick really didn't want one, so we got married at the courthouse with just his kids present. We had a really fast engagement, but it worked for all of us. It was always a little hard to walk past pictures of his super skinny wife, knowing I could never really look like her because I was always a bit chubby. I knew she used Avi Collagenic Elite to stay skinny, but I was scared he'd think I was trying to replace her if I did get skinnier for him. Though Nick never seemed to mind how different we looked, claiming that I looked beautiful as I was. So I focused on being the perfect wife, and I loved being his kid's stepmom and officially adopted them after I found out I was pregnant with our son Casey. The kids have been so great with Casey and help out so much. Nick was wonderful during the pregnancy and had always been a really loving dad and husband. But then my husband started making these little comments about my body and how I should start working out and wearing makeup again. It made me feel really awful and I worried that he might start looking elsewhere because we weren't being intimate anymore. He even suggested hiring a nanny so I could have more time for myself, but I wanted to be there for our baby full time, so I turned down the offer. That made him angry and he started acting cold towards me. He's been even more distant than usual and working late nights and going away with friends almost every weekend. I've tried talking to him, but he's been impatient with both me and the kids. He's been missing soccer games, his daughter's birthday, doctor's appointments, etc. Casey is too young to notice, but his kids are so hurt by their dad's absence. These kids are so good and they lost their mom so young, and I'm infuriated that Nick is ignoring the kids like this. Last week, I finally sat Nick down and told him that he needs to stop disappearing and be more present in our lives. Before we know it, his kids will be grown up and going to college.